The most basic. That's some pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah,
right
but
there.
this isn't.
This is not.
Welcome back. We're Bourbon Junkies.
I'm Dan.
I'm Sean.
And I forget every time.
Every
what
time.
we're supposed to say.
Intros, outros, not his forte. Drinking whiskey though, nailed it.
Yeah, pretty much killed that. AKA Sound Life, AKA Amateur Blender. You know what I mean?
Amateur.
I
Yeah, amateurs.
I got a lot of nicknames these days.
Wow, just going into it.
Yep. Want to know why?
Because we're drinking Blanton's Gold.
Not the basic one. That is the wettest core.
There's so much. Yeah, because you splashed it. Oh my god.
Didn't spill any. Relax. Oh. You know, I was gonna pour over.
Let me help you out.
Oh, this is fuller than I expected. It doesn't pour well. I know I don't either. But
you
like,
don't pour well.
Blanton's Gold.
UK only.
AKA, well, like Europe.
Anywhere but here only.
Yeah, Canada. Is Germany in Europe?
There's just going to be an
It's probably in Asia.
I get to edit this, so there's going to be an overlay here of the world and where Germany is. Because yes, Dan, Germany would be in Europe.
I just know that a long time ago they were not very nice people. That's all I know. I don't know where they're at. I've never been there. I buy a lot of their cars. Okay.
You know the biggest Volkswagen
I know,
fan I've
slash
ever
Audi, yeah.
known.
I don't have to know where they come from. Those cars come from Mexico, by the way, and I know that
They
for a
do.
fact.
They 100% come out of Mexico. But tonight,
so Blanton's Gold, and here's why. Because I traded a bottle for a bottle that upsets me. This is that bottle, and the reason it upsets me is because you make it here.
Yeah, this is made in Kentucky, and we
bottled
have to
in Kentucky.
Yeah,
distilled in Kentucky.
Don't sell it here though.
Aged in Kentucky.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's aged probably relatively close.
Woo.
I think it's the same rick house. Woo. It's aged really close to a normal Blanton.
By the way, Dan's has had this. Dan has had this.
Dan's has had this. Yeah, that's correct.
Out of everything I said today, that is not the worst, though. Dan has had this. I have not.
Yes. Listen, we are not fans of Blanton. We're both big fans of Buffalo Trace products in general.
Yeah.
Nashville 1, 2, 3,
Blanton's
7.
though, we pretty much call that like basic bitch bourbon.
Yeah, PSLs.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been called basic a time or two, right? And during the fall time,
5 times.
I don't care who's around. I'll order that same pumpkin spice latte. Now,
it smells really rich.
That being said,
like really buttery.
It's like Blanton's is such a marketed thing, and Buffalo Trace is so good at marketing. Between the shape and like the idea, the like having the date on every bottle, it's such like a fancy bottle with like the cap and everything. We've never had a gold or a straight from the barrel or any of the special editions. That normal Blantons, we're always just like, that's just a good normal.
The staple.
It's just a good normal bourbon. It's just, it's not special. It's just good. No. You know what I mean? So.
But it's repeatedly a pretty good bourbon. So it's.
We've wanted one of these forever.
We have.
And wanted a straight from the barrel forever. Because I've heard good things about both. I've actually not heard bad things about either. And I traded a bottle and got this gold.
This is it's like a green apple.
Yep.
And like a peach.
Oh, I don't hate that at all. I get the green apple a lot.
Like it fades out into that, like buttery rich too, like a lot of butter, bit of honey sweetness to it. It's almost.
That's what. So the palate for me, especially on that drink. My gosh, it's so. If you like sweet whiskey, this is it. This is it. It's a higher proof. The difference between this and normal Blantons is this is like a 107,
56.
103.
Oh.
103 proof. 51 and a half, I think, right?
Yeah. I would guess just a smidge higher, because rolling around, damn, that's good.
It's so good.
Like it chased a bit of moisture out of my mouth.
This is a 700 milliliter bottle, so I got ripped off by 50 mil. And then,
not only did they make it here and ship it away, they shorted us 50 mils.
Yeah, when they brought it back here, they didn't. But when the person did, unfortunately, they got less whiskey for their money. But it's funny because I think this gold looks worse than the normal Blanton.
It looks super cheap.
It's just like cheesy, yeah.
Yeah, like
the bottle looks better.
That's participation trophy right there. That's what that gold
like
is.
That fake.
Yeah. Where's that? Oh, it's
right there.
Yeah, take the that's almost like the brass.
That's almost It looks like somebody's rubbed it for a while. You know what I mean?
You're on fire with these today.
Yeah, that one's just implied, so that one can stay. This tastes like honey
Yeah, like big
So
time. That
honey.
buttery richness, like just translate to straight honey sweetness. It rolls around well. I think the more I let this sit, that green apple's kind of fading.
It's just honey and I don't know if it's raspberries, but it's definitely like a berry forward, really sweet, rich. When I say rich, it's weird because it's almost like the flavors there are almost still kind of delicate. Like they almost feel like they could go away at any time, but they're gonna stay a little longer. You know what I mean?
There's a really good like red raspberry sweetness into like a really deep oak.
And the spice comes from the oak.
It borderline is chocolate.
Oh.
That rich oakness. No, you're not getting that?
On the finish?
Hating that? Yeah.
Yeah. Chocolate?
Yeah, it's close.
I think this is like the
It's close.
brightest of sweet whiskeys.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a thing wrong.
I think
with it.
it's like this. Here's right into it. You're like, what? Nice red fruit, honey, oaky, and the chocolate. That's solid. Finish isn't super long on that though.
No.
The more I think about
Just
it,
good.
it hangs around a smidgen.
It's there.
Not crazy long.
Turns into a little bit of like a barrel spice at the very end, and as the flavor fades away.
This is the least spicy thing I've ever had in my life.
At the very end. At the very end of the finish. As she's exiting the room.
The longer this sits and opens up a bit more, I'm getting like more floral notes out of it.
No.
Like it's starting to get brighter.
Don't put the word floral around this, okay? It's too good. It's too beautiful.
What did you just
I'm
do
rinsing
with
it, so that's empty. I'm rinsing it so I can put normal blends in.
Just grab another glass.
You
I'll leave
know?
that little bit in there for you. I don't need to retry that. That's a good way to put it. Is you're not getting too much of anything really.
Yeah.
It's
Apparently that one's a little wet on the bottom. Doesn't slide.
there's just gonna be a giant window of my eyes when you're doing that.
Just oh shit. Look at it's interesting because I don't know if you could be able to tell in the video. This bottle's just skinnier.
Yeah.
Like how it's not
Same height,
smaller.
yeah,
it's just shrunk in.
It is smaller.
It's like this is the American one. It's wider. This is the European one, and it's not as wide. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't, because you literally look like a small Asian man. Not your face, but your build. Red apples. This is red apples.
That's more to that like that strawberry and cream.
Yeah, it's a little. I would say it's creamier on the nose.
That is disappointing to drink.
Comparatively, oh my gosh, it's flat.
Yeah.
It's like I shook up pop and then drank it. Comparatively.
That's wildly disappointing after having that. Like, it feels so empty. The proof just feels wildly off, and I think that really kills the finish. Like 100%. This has an amazing finish. It rolls into all that nice barrel finish.
Yeah.
That's good. That you get a little bit of fruit sweetness, tiny bit of oak, and it's gone.
Tastes like
That's
root
a like cola-y.
beer. Like root beer.
All right.
That's weird.
That's a flash in a pan type flavor.
Yeah, it is.
Where like that like gets a hold of you.
This is so much better balanced. So much more interesting to me than this.
What's the proof difference?
This is 93 and that's 103. So
Wow,
10 proof. 5%.
This feels so much hotter than 10 proof difference.
Feels a lot better.
Like it chases some moisture out of your mouth,
Oh, okay.
and like it's not wildly different.
I really like the gold.
Yeah.
I think if they sold this here, I would probably have a bottle of this, probably about this full, right?
Yeah.
And then I would have 3 bottles of this in that same amount of time.
Yeah.
Like that's realistically. If this is, I think that this is supposed to be like 80 to 90 in a store or something like that.
That we
like,
can't get to.
Not here.
But I mean, on the come up, don't get me wrong. This is one that you need to hit. This at some point in your life, you gotta have a bottle of Blanton's and be like, hey,
yeah.
it's a salad bottle.
Buffalo Trace does a good job.
Yeah. Solid one. And then
And they make better ones, which is going to be the frustrating part. Basically, Buffalo Trace goes, listen, you stupid Americans, because they're from Sazerac's like Japanese.
No.
What's Sazerac?
No.
They're not American.
No.
What are they?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay, well, Sazerac's not from here, and so I don't know what racist accent to make, but they basically do something like, you stupid fat Americans, that's and then they basically do, we love our own people, right? And so...
Yeah, because, I mean, outside of America, you've got gold, you have green, you have silver, straight from the barrel.
They used to do silver, black, red, and Japan was like silver, black, and red, or something like one of these.
Just straight, like,
it
gold.
wasn't even intentional. But they did silver, black, and red, I think, in Japan.
They still got green.
Green is like the shittiest one.
I've heard not.
It's a special reserve.
Silver is supposed to be very good though.
Silver is like $600 in secondary. They don't make it anymore though. They don't do silver anymore.
Oh,
and now they do different ones. Like Alabama just got a special release of Blanton's. It's a 200th like anniversary of something. I don't know if it's the. How long has Alabama been around? 200 years? How long's America been around?
1776, Dan.
How many years is that? 300, 200 and change. 2 change.
Yeah.
I wonder how long Alabama's been around. Maybe that's why they're getting.
They weren't one of the original colonies.
Could have been 200 years because they're having a special bottle. But
okay.
They do like centennial releases. They do like French releases. I don't know. They do a bunch of them. I haven't had any of them except these 2 now. And this one is so much better than this one. I don't want this one anymore. I'll trade you 4 of these. Nope, because I have to pay 60 for them.
God, there's just so much more depth.
Yeah. This one, it's okay. Store picks of this aren't as good as this.
Aren't good?
No, as good as this.
Okay. I was gonna say, I think you said that wrong.
No, I said store picks of this, rewind it, aren't as good as this.
The store picks we've had.
Yeah, sure.
Prove
me wrong, send me
we
samples.
only had one.
Send me samples.
We had one store pick of that, and it was very lackluster.
I paid 19 now.
Very lackluster.
You want to grade it? Let's grade it.
Retail?
Yeah, let's say 80 to 90. Let's say 90, just for the sake of not knowing.
A.
Can't get it here. For 90? Oh, I would say, yeah, close to it.
Like,
for 90, I'm going to say B+.
You want to tell me why?
Because I want it to be 70 and I want it to be in America. Well, those are my reasons. All right, we're the Bourbon Junkies. I'm Dan. He's Sean. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, subscribe. There's a Patreon link below. We appreciate you. We love you. The proof's in the pour. Fucking nailed it. I don't even care, dude. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. Don't say I didn't give you anything.
I don't know the last time he's actually hit an outro.
Never. Not since he started.